poetry competition that we ran this summer. It was about the commemoration for Windrush Day on June the 22nd. I should have said at the beginning, my family are from Barbados. I might not sound very Bajan, my family are from Barbados, so I'm really proud of my Caribbean heritage. And it was really important to me that people were able to reflect on Windrush and what it meant to them. So really pleased to have Pam Williams, our winner, with us tonight. How are you doing, Pam?
Really good, thanks very much.
Good to see you. Your mic's a little bit quiet, so you might want to turn it up a little bit if you can.
Okay, now you're asking.
Yeah, no, you're there now, you're a bit closer now, that's great, you look fabulous. So thank you so much for sharing your video of Sibling Strangers. We thought it might be good to have a video just to help us with technology tonight. So tell us about the inspiration for writing your poem.
So the competition was Caribbean Stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I attended the workshop and we were talking about the Windrush generation and how, the impact and the scandal and everything that's going on. And normally I write things from other people's perspectives and try to get in other people's shoes. But this time I kind of wanted to think about what it was like, because my sister and I have 8 years between us. I was just a little girl when she arrived and she was a teenager. So there really wasn't much in common and we were just names to each other. And over the years, we grew much, much closer. And I know other people who've not had that. They've got people who've come into their lives and they've never been able to get on. So I kind of wanted to think about that aspect of it. There are so many aspects of that whole Windrush generation that still haven't been touched on.
Yeah, and it was one of the things that myself and the judges, we were really pleased that you had created such a moving poem, because you're right, it's not an area that's often explored or discussed, and when I've spoken to, say, English friends of mine, it's an area that they wouldn't really understand about, say, the Caribbean community. So we were really, I think it was the only poem that came through that featured on that topic. So yeah, it's really great to hear about your experiences. And are you continuing to write poetry? I know you've been working on a book as well. Are you continuing with poetry as well?
Yes, so I'm a member of a writers group called African Heritage Writers, and I've done quite a lot of poetry with them. And in fact, we had an anthology about the whole World War I and the impact on the African diaspora, because as Lennox said, you never hear about black soldiers, you never see them, they're never commemorated. And so the book was really about, we were there. And it's a history that's been swept under the carpet. So we did quite a lot of work around that, and I did lots of poetry around that. But I would say creative writing, I've always wanted to write a novel. I actually started writing the one that I'm working on now, nearly 30 years ago.
Right.
And I won a place on the London Writers Award. It's like a mentoring program, and we have workshops with people from the industry, and people critique your work. And it was really, really good at sort of boosting the confidence and giving you an insight into what you need to do. Okay. And from that, I then got an offer of representation, and I'm now just going to complete the novel, and my agent is going to try and get me published.
Oh, fantastic. And when's your novel due to be coming out? Is that going to be next year?
Well, I'm still working on it at the moment, so at least next year, if not longer. But.
And do you hope to include some poetry in there as well?
It's a straightforward novel.
Right, okay.
But my writing group, we are going to bring out some more work next year, another anthology of poetry.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Well, if you want to share any links to the anthology in the chat tonight, or if you want to share it with me, I can circulate that after the event, that'd be fantastic, because it'd be great to hear about your progress and how you're getting on. And what would you have any tips for anyone looking to write a poem?
I think, as Lennox said, you just need to just write from the heart, and just think about what it is you're trying to say, put it on paper, and then you can go back and edit it and play around with it later, and then you can add all the clever words or anything like that. But I think you have to think of it as a short story. It's a narrative. I think people get frightened by the word poems and poetry because you expect it to have all these rules and traditions to follow. And it's just writing about how you feel, what you think about something in a kind of succinct way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's very true. I must admit, I have a bit of that fear. I was involved in coordinating and running this poetry competition, but I have a bit of that fear of that word, like you say, that it's a poem, so it seems quite serious. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience, and well done to you. It was one of the standout poems, and we were really pleased to award you the first prize.